Hi, Deepti. Let's take a look at your last set of essays here. This is about energy, security, green energy. Let's see what you wrote. Experts throughout both the developed and developing world have debated whether green energy is beneficial due to its cost effectiveness and environment friendliness, or a threat. Though power production from natural resources can be unreliable, I personally believe it is advantageous. This essay will discuss both sides using examples from the UK government and Oxford University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, so fine. One problem, little problem, but a problem nonetheless, is this right here. You wrote natural resources. Green energy, as well as fossil fuels, are all natural resources. Okay, so using this this term here is not accurate. It's not a synonym for renewable sources. That's actually the word you wanted. You could have talked about green energy. You could have talked about renewable sources of energy. That would have been okay. Natural resources actually covers fossil fuel as well. So it's a term that should be avoided here. Okay, so let's continue and see what you had to say in your body paragraph. There is ample evidence that power generation from wind, water, and sunlight has been very helpful in curbing pollution because it's power generation, and then you just characterize what kind of power generation. If there, excuse me, if there had not been any way to produce energy from natural resources, the environment would be very much polluted as there is no waste material or toxic gas release in green energy. Okay, again, you use natural resources, so again, avoid it. You could have said from these sources, okay? For example, empirical research by the UK government showed that there is 35% less pollution than there was, not it, than there was, okay? Because this is structure, there is, than there was, due to the increase of green energy. Consistent with this line of thinking is that it is a very inexpensive way to generate power, as there is no raw materials which are consumed in the process. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that green energy is a very beneficial way to produce power, as it entails less cost and pollution than other methods of power production. Lovely. This is really nice. I like it. It's really well linked. It covers both environment and cost. It's well supported, so I'm really happy with this paragraph. Let's look at the next one. There has been a case for green energy saving cost, not to save, but saving cost and environment, and the environment, but its unreliability cannot be ignored. Because this method of power production depends on weather, it might provide instability. All right, this is a little awkward. It might provide instability. It might prove to be unstable, or it might not provide stability. That makes a little more sense than it provides instability, okay? So, though science has come so far in the past few decades, weather is still very uncertain to provide reasonable predictions. I took away this but because in a sentence you can either have though or you can have but you can't have both. It should not be forgotten that green energy cannot provide a seamless, sustainable source of energy. Hence, it is possible to state beyond doubt that natural resources can play a very good role in producing energy but lack continuous and flawless supply. Okay. There were a couple of things that I want to talk about here. Let's see. You said that science has come so far, but weather is still uncertain to provide reasonable predictions. This sentence for me really felt like it just kind of came out from nowhere. It didn't add anything. It didn't it didn't really fit in with the flow of your ideas. Because look what you're saying here. Green energy saves cost, but it's unreliable. Okay. And then weather conditions affect the availability. And then you still cannot predict weather. And then here, it's like you were going back to that same sentence. And so I really don't understand why you chose to put this here. It almost feels to me like you had a lack of ideas here. and maybe you ran out, or maybe you weren't really sure what else to say. So this is a paragraph that I wanted worked on a little bit more. So let's talk about what you could have done. First of all, let's talk about what energy security actually means. Yes, it is. It refers to the availability of energy, but not just that. It refers to the availability of energy at a reasonable cost. So you could have talked about that. You could have talked about the fact that to produce green energy and to harness it and collect it, there's a huge outlay of resources in the beginning, and this might be cost prohibitive. Um, and so, this is one of the downsides of it. So you could have talked about that. Um, Maybe you could have you talked about like the uncertainty because of reasonable predictions. Maybe you could have talked about, let's see, maybe a country that relies on solar power, maybe they go through an odd patch um, of rain for a period, because we all know that climate change is happening and it creates kind of different unexpected weather conditions. Okay, so for example, a country that is used to having a certain amount of sunlight during the day or during a certain point in the year, if they suddenly don't have that because of some freak weather condition, then this could definitely jeopardize all of the energy in that area. All right, so these are some of the things that I thought you could have talked about more. Definitely felt like this paragraph was underdeveloped. There was much more to say, but I felt like you kind of ran out of ideas. Let's look at your conclusion. To conclude from the argument, to conclude from the examples or arguments given, I firmly believe that green energy is very beneficial to protect the environment and generate power with low cost. Though it is not a very reliable solution to generate power, there are still environmental benefits to be gained in the future. It is predicted that this will continue to grow sharply. Okay, that's lovely. Another thing that I want to suggest to you is perhaps changing your paragraphs. This is the side you don't support. This is the side you do support. This really should come second. Okay, it should come closer to a conclusion. It's the stronger of the two. It's the side you support, and so it's supposed to act like an anchor. So my recommendation to you would be to put this second closer to your conclusion. Okay? All right. So it's a good essay overall, but like I said, this needed work. All right, let's continue. Let's look at your letter about the dog. Looks a little brief, but let's see what you said. Dear Mr. Smith, hope you are doing well. I'm writing to express the inconvenience due to the barking of your dog all the time. All right, grammar here, Deepti. I'm writing to express the inconvenience I have suffered, the inconvenience I have endured due to the barking of your dog. And then all the time seems a little awkward to me as well. Due to the constant barking of your dog. Feels a lot better to me. I've been facing this annoyance for the last 2 weeks. I'm not able to sleep at night and I'm having problems attending online meetings. I've been working from home for the past 3 weeks and the continuous barking is really causing problems. My family is also very disturbed because of the noise and is not able to get quality sleep at night. Though we try to muffle the noise by keeping doors and windows closed, it is still very loud and bothers us in day-to-day life. Again, not though and but. You pick one or the other, but not both. I feel that you should consult a doctor if there are any health issues with the dog. As I am also a dog lover, I think seeing a doctor might be helpful in case your dog is suffering from any undiagnosed disease. In the meantime, could you please keep your dog indoors? This should be a question mark. I hope a serious consideration will be given to my complaint. Let me know if you need any help from my side. Regards. Okay, that's fine. I thought this was very nice. Just a couple of little minor things in terms of language. But on the whole, I thought it was a nicely written letter. It was semi-formal, which is perfect. I mean, no problems. You could have gone informal, you could have gone semi-formal, but I thought this was fine. I thought it was very nice. Okay, it was a well-written letter actually. So, okay, this brings you to the end of the course. Let's let's see how we can continue to work together. Perhaps you'd like to sign up for more essay corrections so that we could continue giving you feedback. There'll be a link in the email telling you how to do that. So hopefully we'll see more of your work. I'm looking forward to it, and I want to wish you lots of luck.